Hi, and welcome to the Word of the Week. This week's word is work. Now, work is defined as an activity in which one exerts strength or faculties to do or perform something. Right? So, when we think about work, a lot of times the first thing pops into our head is job. It's a job, right? And that has a very negative connotation to a lot of people. Well, it really shouldn't, but yes, your job, what you have to do to make a living, that's considered your work, right? But it's also the things that you produce. So if you're a musician or a composer, right, the artist, the things that you create through your imagination, through your creativity, those are your works, your body of works. It also means that something's functional, right? If your computer is working, you're able to watch this video. If it's not, you can't watch it. So work has a lot of different meanings, but work is critical in our ability to move forward, to advance ourselves. Right? So if we think about the law of inertia which states that an object at rest will tend to stay at rest, and an object in motion will tend to stay at motion unless acted upon by an outside force. So as we think about our lives, that's kind of the situation. It takes a little bit of work to get the ball moving. And that's one of the most primary laws in terms of inertia as well, is that to get something started, that's going to take a little bit more force, a little more work to break that moment of inertia. So we need to work, we need to put some energy into it to get ourselves started. Once we get ourselves started, however, we still need to work, but usually not quite as much. For the most part, it's just putting a little bit more energy into it, just a little push here and there. Occasionally we will run into some resistance, and then we have to again put a little bit more effort into it. It's like a car going on a level hill or level road with your cruise control. If you start to go uphill, you'll feel the engine kick in a little bit more, use a little more gas, and then when you start to go down, then it can pull back a little bit. So it does take work to keep going, but the amount is dependent upon the amount of resistance that you are facing, whether that be external resistance or whether it be internal resistance. Now, the thing to also keep in mind is a lot of us, we work really hard, but we do a lot of busy work. Busy work is anything that is ancillary or tertiary or anything that is not directly related to us achieving what we need to achieve at a given point in time. Now, perfect example of this, I have a lot of students who have come to me over the years and said, Coach, I really want to be your next national level champion, or I really want to be a black belt, or I really want to be a teacher, and all these things. And they have these ideas of what it's going to take and what they're going to do. And they come up with these really elaborate training programs, and they're going to run every day, and they're going to do push-ups and sit-ups and lift weights, and they're going to do all these wonderful things. But they spend all the time doing those things and not the thing that they need to do, which practice their martial art. Right? They'll spend hours doing the supplemental training, but they avoid, like the plague sometimes, the foundation training. Right? So when you work, the majority of your time needs to be spent on those activities that are going to directly get you to your goal. Not the support ones. Do you need to do them? Absolutely. But the percentage needs to definitely be really skewed towards those fundamental activities that are going to get you to where you need to be in your life. Okay? So remember, it takes work to make things work the way you'd like them to. All right, I hope to see you next week, and I hope you enjoyed this week's lesson.